They overbid. They bought homes that basically just had a little bit of lipstick on them, and then there were deeper issues with the home that they discovered. They bought all of the furnishings, put it on the market, and the market bottomed out.
All right, so you've been thinking about short-term investments. You're thinking maybe Austin, maybe one of the outlying areas, the Hill Country, Dripping Springs, Lago Vista, I don't know, Spicewood, Marble Falls, something like that, but you're not sure where to start. You hear a ton of people are making money at it, but it seems a little bit confusing because you're looking online and nobody actually gives you any good information. Guys, you've found the right channel. This is part 5 of this ongoing series of short-term rentals. I'm Chris Pesek, broker associate at Pesek Properties and the Dripping Springs home team, and I have the legend with me. The legend, Jodi Cleer. Jodi, you're with I Love Vacations.
Yes.
What is your official title?
I am the Chief Marketing Officer.
Chief Marketing Officer. And y'all have a local branch in Dripping Springs, and it's I Love Dripping Springs Vacations.
Correct.
But you guys also have a bigger company that serves how many different markets right now?
We're in 5 different markets,
okay.
And we currently have just under 1,000 homes in our management portfolio, making us one of the largest privately held property managers in the country, definitely in the western half of the United States.
Right, and I was about to say, just about everything you guys have is west of the Mississippi.
Yes, we're West Coasters.
So what are the other markets? There's 5 of them, so where are you guys?
Yeah, so I'll start straight north. We've got Whitefish, Montana, which is the home of Glacier National Park, so a great year-round destination. Park City, Utah, which is where we started 24 years ago.
Hugely popular.
Yeah, we're huge in Park City. We're in Sedona, Arizona. We're also the largest property manager in Sedona, Arizona. Scottsdale, Arizona, which we'll talk about later, is the most saturated market in the United States. But we're there, and we're still making it work. And then, yeah, right here in Dripping Springs. And then we've got some smaller markets in Hawaii, Cabo, and St. George, Utah.
Oh, just, you know.
Always looking to grow. Always
Cabo,
trying to find the next
Hawaii,
best deal.
Yeah,
horrible places to
just
visit.
hanging out. This is why I say you're the legend. So the whole point behind this, and so this is episode 5. I've gone through 4 episodes with Chris Motal and talked about the lending, and not everybody finds funding, but some people do it cash. Some people work with lenders. And guys, if you miss those other episodes, check out these videos here. You can go back from the beginning and watch this stuff through. But episode 5, and I wanted to bring you in as a short-term manager, a property manager, and talk about basically everything. We're gonna give people the keys to the castle on this, but we've got to start somewhere. So on this episode, look, short-term rentals became hugely popular during COVID, like 3 years ago, right? And you always tell me that people would Google. What would they Google?
Yeah, where do I put my money and how do I invest my money?
And what was the number one response back then?
Number 1 was buy an Airbnb.
Buy an Airbnb.
And can we talk about what Airbnb is for just 2 seconds?
Yeah, this is your show. Let's go.
Oh, it irritates me beyond no end. Airbnb is a brand.
Yes.
It is not a product. It is not a thing you own. It is a brand. It is a website where you can list your house, but it is not what you own. You own a short-term rental or a vacation rental. You do not own an Airbnb. That would be like drinking a Dr. Pepper and calling it a Coke. So I just want to clarify right there. It is not an Airbnb. But there were all these articles that were coming out in COVID, and everyone was drinking the Kool-Aid, so much so that the complete entire inventory over the United States from the beginning of COVID to now increased by 46% nationwide.
My name is Chris, and I'm part of the problem.
Well,
because we bought in the last 2 years now. Yep.
Yeah, but we're part of the solution as well, because at the time, no one was staying in hotels. People were working from home, educating from home. They were bouncing around and living a nomad lifestyle where they lived somewhere for 3 months, checked it out. But now everybody is going back to work. Europe travel this year is up 34%. Everybody who hasn't been able to go to Europe for the last 3 years is going this year. The euro's pretty even with the dollar. Airfares it's just as cheap to fly to Paris as it is to, fly
San
to
Francisco,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so there's that pent up need to travel and explore, which is always going to be there.
I was about to say, that's not going away.
It's
People want
not.
to travel.
Absolutely.
Because nobody wants to be in Texas when it's 107.
Well, unless you got a pool.
Unless you have a pool, and then it's tolerable, and cold beer.
Right. Staycations for those of us who don't have pools, who want to go somewhere with a pool for the weekend.
That's right. Actually, I came across some of those 2 weekends ago at one of the local breweries. We're like, hey, where are y'all from? Georgetown. What are you doing down here? We just found a place with a pool and rented it out for the weekend.
Yeah.
There you go.
So the usage of short-term rentals has changed. It has gone from, this is where we're hunkering down for 2 weeks, to staycation. We're going for the weekend. We're going for a celebration. So there's still a need and a use for short-term rentals. It's just, it looks a little different, and the demographics of what that type of guest is.
Yeah. So that's kind of how we got to where we are now with the huge number of STRs. All we see are headlines, right? Oh, the short-term market's going to crash. All these houses are going to hit the market. It's going to crash the entire housing economy. Let's start there. What's happening right now? Because you go to conferences for and people don't know this, there are property management for short-term rental conferences. I know that's not the correct term, but that's basically what they are. And y'all sit around and talk about this for days. So where are we right now in all of this? Can people still make money in short terms? Is it a wise investment?
That's a lot of questions.
I'll shut up.
No, so first of all, there is one national association that stands out in my mind that we participate in and have been members in for years, and that's the VRMA, Vacation Rental Managers Association. Okay. It's open to not only property managers, but to individual owners as well. They have great platforms, tools for people to educate themselves about the industry as a whole. So it's a really, really great resource for people who are looking at it. I myself have been in the industry for 10 plus years and have seen kind of the ebbs and flows of short-term rentals. It really follows closely along with the stock market, the real estate market, those types of trends continue. But what we did see in 2021, which we call the unicorn year in the industry, is because it's never going to happen again, right? It was the perfect storm. People couldn't travel. They wanted to go out, explore, do all those things. That's never going to happen again. But what also was the unicorn year about 2021 was real estate prices.
That's right. I was just going to say, I've been telling people, if you look back, most of 2020, 2021, first part of 2022, it was an anomaly. Everybody knew it was an anomaly. It's never coming back. But here we go with our normal market, right? Right.
So those who did not time the market, which timing the market is never going to happen, right? No, never going to happen.
Not consciously. Like, you can get lucky, but you're not consciously going to time it.
Correct. And so people bought at the height of the market, took out mortgages for 80, 90% of the value of the home, bought a home that, because of the excitement and, hey, you got to get a bid in today, 72 hours best bid, they overbid. They bought homes that basically just had a little bit of lipstick on them, and then there were deeper issues with the home that they discovered. They bought all of the furnishings, put it on the market, and the market bottomed out. And so now they can't make their mortgage. Right. And they were, really, property managers, things like AirDNA and other statistics had projections based upon 2021 that just were not duplicatable. And so now they can't make their mortgage. They're panicking. It's probably the first time they've ever made this type of investment, and now they're selling. Now it's fire sale. Yeah. So not in this market, not in the Dripping Springs market, but in some of the other markets that we're in, we're seeing fire sales. House and all the contents turnkey ready. Just take it. Yeah. I can't make my mortgage. So that's decreasing the inventory a little bit, but that because of that high supply that we've seen, it's pushed the rates down. Mm-hmm. So now what's what we call a race to the bottom, and we've got people who are like, oh, I'll just rent it for $99. I'll take whatever I can get. And that's not really where we want to go as an industry. And so what we've been talking about is, let's not have a race to the bottom. Let's bring a standard to the industry that is of customer service, quality, accommodations where people feel safe and have a great experience. And, if we're priced lower than a hotel, it's just not going to work for the industry. And nobody makes any money.
Correct.
You've got to reach that standard.
But that's the reason, to me, that people choose short-terms and they will pay more for that vacation rental is because it's not a hotel. Like, I'm at your house. We're on 5 acres. This is, this is not a hotel setting, obviously. And if that level is held high, like you're saying, people are going to still pay for that.
And short-term rentals really appeal to different types of travelers. So corporate travelers, people would say, oh, no, corporate travelers don't stay in short-term rentals. And you're wrong, right? Because we have a lot of people who are displaced workers right now, or they're coming in looking for a place to live. There's a lot of new companies, especially in Texas, is really big for corporate right now. You've got multi-generational families. People who, they're bringing the grandkids, they're bringing, everybody, they're coming for a celebration. You have friend groups, maybe they're coming out to wine country and doing it. Maybe they're coming out for a wedding. Everybody needs separate accommodations. And if you were to get hotel room, you have no central gathering space. I mean, if you look at all of our homes, they're very open floor plan, right? You can
sit here and everything can happen, including outside and everything else.
But then everybody's got their private space and their own bathroom, right? You've got a kitchen to cook in and you can do your laundry. So it does appeal to people who want to stay for a little bit longer and coming with bigger gatherings versus the one night in the hotel.
So what you're saying is the industry's not dead.
Oh, absolutely not.
Contrary to all the headlines, the industry's not dead.
And I think I know what you're specifically referring to. There was one single article that came out with Matrix that was, just statistics are statistics, and you can make them say whatever you want them to say.
Statistics,
and
statistics.
The one I know that you're referring to that went viral, it wasn't even correct information. And that's important. And that's hard to go through that. And as a potential investor or homeowner, it's difficult to understand who should I trust. And the answer is always get a backup opinion. You want to get multiple opinions from multiple people in the market. Talk to people who are already in the market. What's working for them? What's not? It's friendly competition. It's one of the friendliest industries that I know. We're very open to sharing and sharing information. If someone's not, then you should wonder why. But always do your homework and don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask because but part of it, and I think what we're going to kind of train people with some of these are asking the right questions and asking educated questions.
We've got a whole video on how to interview you as a PM. And coincidentally, those questions came from my group who just got finished interviewing PMs. So we've got a lot of questions to cover on that. All right. Well, good first one, just in terms of laying the groundwork. We're gonna dive into this a lot deeper. So let's shoot to the next video now, guys. Again, if this is the kind of content that you're looking for, if you're even considering buying a short-term rental, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. I don't know. There are so many different topics that we can cover on this, and as long as I don't annoy Jodi over the next year, I just want to keep bringing this stuff out, because that's one of my biggest gripes when I'm trying to figure stuff out is people won't go deep into what they're looking for. Here, I'll give you this crust layer, but oh, by the way, if you want the rest of this, it's going to cost you, no, not $5,997. We'll cut that line, but it's going to cost you $997, and that's not what we're about. We're going to get some good information out to people. And if you want to buy a short-term rental in one of the markets that Jodi manages, she'll be happy to talk to you about that. If you want to buy a rental in a market that I can help you buy a house, I'll be happy to talk to you about that. But for right now, let's wrap it up. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.